Hello everyone, it's Table Reviews here. Today we're looking at the Hot Toys Captain Rex. Now, I do not have the box for this. It is in storage, so you can look up the box online if you really want to see it, but it's your choice. Now, I got mine off of Sideshow, but they're currently sold out on there, so you can get yours from PopCollectibles or any other Hot Toy seller. I don't know any other ones. eBay is also an option, but they're quite pricey on there. Anyways, let's get to the figure. This Captain Rex is from the Ahsoka show, and if you have not seen that, it is a live-action parody of Star Wars and Ahsoka, and she actually looks pretty good in the show, so does Captain Rex, and many other clones show up in that show. Now, I know you can't see it, but the painting and sculpting on him is very, very well done. There's lots of weathering on his helmet and all over his armor, and he has all the tally marks on his wrist and hands. He also has his pole twin that is blue, the right color. The stitching is very nice. I have a little bit of sticking out on my copy, but it's not a big deal. Now, this figure in particular, people mostly don't like because the live action one, the pauldron, is a little small, and yes, I can see that, but it looks fine to me. The proportions are good, and another complaint is that the shoulder pieces were put on wrong. And that is correct. In the photo for the Ahsoka show, the shoulder pads were actually facing forward and not facing backwards. And people complained about that and hoped it wasn't going to happen on this figure, and it didn't happen. Now we're going to cover the articulation. The articulation on this guy is pretty good. He has a pauldron at his head and a pauldron at the neck. That allows him to look up incredibly far and look down about that far. His little thing gets in the way, but that's okay. You can remove it. It's Velcro, and it's pretty well detailed. Now, he has some sort of articulation on the shoulder. I don't know, but it can go out that far. And you can move his arm to your full extent. I mean, like, you don't want to rip the cloth. It's fully seamless, so you do want to be careful. But all these pieces can move, and you want to be careful because they probably can break. Some of my other Hot Toys figures have broken because of the fragile pieces, but you know, it's not a problem on him. As for his arms, he has a double bend at the elbow, which allows for some good poses, and his wrist can move up and down, and it can swivel. Now, for the wrist articulation, you can actually twist it around so then it can move this way and not just up and down. And for the torso, he has a torso swivel a little bit and no ab quad or arching back. As for the legs, he can move out that far, it's pretty bad, sorry, and move that back that far. Now, he probably can move a little further, but I'm just scared to break him, and I've been waiting for a year to get him, so I'm being quite careful. Now, for the knees here, he has a double bend at the knee, which goes pretty well. And he also has a wired waist cape here, or collar as they call it. And he also has a ball joint at the ankle, so he can get a pivot and it can move up and down. Now, I don't know where the ball joint on this is. It's probably right there somewhere. Focus is probably right there somewhere. But, you know, it's a little exposing, but you can move the armor piece down. As for weapons, of course, you get his two dual living blasters, which the holsters are a little bulky. People did complain about that, and I agree. It looks a little out of... It doesn't match, you know. It looks all messed up. It doesn't look right, but I'm fine with it. From the front, it's not really noticeable. It also comes with some instructions showing you the assembly of switching his modes and all his parts that you can switch out and, you know, get some great poses off of him. He does come with a base plate, which of course has his name and the Star Wars logo, and it does have this sand texture because in the flashback, they were on Mandalore and the texture was a bit sandy, and this looks good. And if you think he can't stand on it, he can. You just have to put it in the right place, and he stands perfectly fine. He stands pretty well. Yep, pretty well. As for the stand, oh my gosh. Be careful for the ball joint angles. they are kind of weak, so don't let them like lean forward too much. But onto the stand, it can move up and down, so you can hold them actually. You can actually hold them right there pretty well. But you know, you can make him float, but he doesn't come with a jetpack unlike the older version, so I don't know why you would do that. Anyways, next accessory. He also comes with a blaster, of course. This is a more updated model. It looks different for some reason. On the older models, on the Hot Toys figures, this part can actually move down, but here it can't. So do not try to move this because you'll end up breaking it. But, you know, it still looks good for a Hot Toys gun, but I like the other one better, personally. You also get trigger finger hands, and they do have the marks on them as well. You get 2 of those. You get some more spread out hands for some reason. I don't know why it's not as relaxed. Maybe it's for like pointing, but I'm not sure. And now for my favorite accessories, his Phase 1 armor. You do get Phase 1 armor with this because we see him in his Phase 1 armor in the Ahsoka show, but not very well. But with the Hot Toys figure, you can see it even better. He looks really good. The antenna or rangefinder, it looks incredibly good. If you think this is one of the see-through visors, it is not. It's just a chrome-looking black plastic, but it looks pretty good. And the paint and weathering here is really, really well. It's done really well. You do not have any binoculars or anything to switch out with, but I'm okay with that. You also get these 2 leg pieces that you can put on for his Phase 1 armor, and they're cleaner than the older model. So compared to here, they don't have the tally marks, and they are pretty clean. You get the same assortment of hands. You get trigger finger hands, and of course, this time they do not have the tally marks because his Phase 1 armor does not have them. You also get 2 relaxed hands, which he has right now, but in Phase 2, and they don't have tally marks. You also get his spread out hand, less relaxed, meant for pointing maybe, I'm not sure. But more accessories, you get his 2 wrist gauntlets. This one has the comlink on it. This is for his right arm. This one for his left because it's plain, but it's clean. And last but not least, you get his chest piece for the Phase 1 armor. Now, this is very simple to put on. You simply just squeeze in on the back side. You squeeze in, and it unclips. It's pretty easy. And it's Velcro. So if you want to swap it, it's Velcro. And the pauldron is attached via magnet, so you don't need to worry about any Velcro. It's pretty simple, and there is actually weathering underneath it. I don't know if you can see that, but it's pretty well done. And the magnet is pretty strong, so no need to worry about that. Now, as for his dual-wielding blasters, which I have not shown yet, they are also really detailed. They are bigger than the older model on the other Captain Rex, but they are still well proportioned to the figure. They have lots of mechanical looking parts, and you know, I wish it came with an effect part because it does look weathered there, so I wish it did, but it doesn't, which I'm perfectly fine with. But there's a hole, it looks like effect part should go there. Hot Toys maybe put an effect part in next time, but I'm not complaining. Now you may be wondering, is the posing good? Well, it's decent. Compared to other Hot Toys figures, it's not the best, but that's because the armor pieces get in the way, and I'm not blaming that. If he was naked and just had his black jumpsuit, that would be pretty weird. But he looks really good, and you don't need to do any good poses with him because in the show, you don't really see him do any poses. You see him running and talking. But if you want to, you can get dynamic poses off of him, and it is possible. Now, I will be showing the Phase 2 armor in a moment, but before that, I just want to say, if you say Phase 1 armor, my bad. If you say the Phase 1 armor looks a little bulky, that's not something you'd be complaining about. All the Phase 1 clone troopers in my faction have bulkier armor. It's not as thin as the Phase 2, so it will look a lot chunkier. Now, if you don't know already, it's pretty simple to get his armor pieces off. You just slide it off, and it's pretty simple. And you just place it down, and then exchange it for the other armor piece, which just slides onto, and then you attach the Phase 1 hand with no markings on it. Now for the legs, all you gotta do is pop off this ball joint, which is pretty simple, and it's probably why the ball joint is a little flimsy. I just noticed that the head is on a dumbbell joint, which means there's 2 ball joints on each side, and there's also a ball joint at the neck, so that's why you can look up really far. And here he is in his Phase 1 armor. Now, I do think the Phase 1 armor looks better than the Phase 2, but the pauldron is very small, doesn't even pass his shoulder belly. And, it does look better in multiple ways, the cleanness, and I just like the Phase 1 armor look better. The helmet looks cool, I don't know why, but it just looks better, even though he put some of his Phase 1 armor look into his Phase 2. Phase 1 still looks better because, that's the coolest one. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. You can always undo it, but I hope this was helpful to make a decision if you want to purchase this or not. You don't have to purchase this. Remember, mine was off of Sideshow, but they're currently sold out, so the place I know you can get it is PopCollectibles. So go check them out. They have other Hot Toys figures that you can get, such as Captain Rex, like the first one, and Commander Cody. So they have lots of options. Do go check them out. I love their website. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.